Guys, Luca here. My bad. I was accidentally in the wrong stream link and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it at all. But I'm here. I'm here with the boys, and I think we're gonna
Old
have a good
age.
day. Yeah, it is definitely old age. You know what's crazy? Can we talk about that for a second?
Let's
My
do that.
coworker. Okay, so there's a group chat at work, and all of my like bosses and the people who are in higher positions than me, right? They're all in the group chat. We're all in there together, and one of them made a joke about being owed, and the dude is like objectively not actually old. He's like maybe late 30s, early 40s, something like that, right? But
He's my
objectively,
age.
yeah. So objectively, he's not actually old, right? But my coworker who's like 32, he was like, "Why do people who are not old say that they're old? What's up with that?" And I was just like, "Honestly, dude, it's just like a social thing. Like you start getting a certain age, people say like, "Oh, I'm so old," but you're not actually old. It's just something to say. But it's like a
Yeah.
lot of it is because you sometimes like especially once you hit past it was 28 for me, but I know it's a little earlier or a little later for other people, right? But for 28 for me, my body started deteriorating rapidly. Like I couldn't do the same things, I couldn't eat the same way. I had to start actually sleeping properly. That kind of thing, right? So it's like he's like, I don't understand why they say it. I'm like, man, I don't think it's that big of a deal to like even have it be a conversation, It's just a social thing. It's just something to say. It doesn't mean anything. But anyway, moving on from that. I'm here. It's definitely old age. I just fucking, I got to get it together. But Slow-Mo's here.
What's up?
And then so is Singer.
What up?
All right. So I'm going to link you guys to the Xbox partner preview stuff. If one of you could share your screen, that'd be great because, I can't do it. Really appreciate you guys. I'll be honest with you, that Xbox partner preview was actually pretty great. It was actually really good.
I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Like I saw some great games. Like I was surprised the DX Dragon Age devs, Eternal Strands, their game. And I was like, I'm in because some people will be like, well, I don't really, but it like the way you have to use the elements and all that. And I'm like, given their pedigree, like I have to give that game a try. Like, well, we know who makes it, right?
Look, check the share. I'm sharing my screen.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Probably gotta blow this up.
Ooh, nice PI. Yeah, that's interesting.
I kind of thought that one was. I didn't like the animation.
Really? I liked it. Yeah. I thought it was great, man.
I like the art style. I don't like the just look at the parts where he's like shooting. Yeah, the movement, it kind of throws me off, and I kind of wonder how the gunplay would be like, but I'm still.
It looks like it'll be floaty. I'm not gonna hold you.
That's what I initially first said. I said that on DPS. I thought the gunplay looked floaty, which is not a good thing. But it could just be, it's not finished yet. It could just be early, and they'll tighten that up later on. But it's a cool idea. Anything from that art style era usually is pretty cool. So
yeah, I think it's awesome. I don't mind the floatiness personally. I feel like it fits the art style. But I definitely understand where you're coming from because it fitting the art style doesn't mean much if it doesn't feel good when you're playing it. So I'll be curious to see how it goes.
Myself.
Yeah. So that makes perfect sense to me. But I thought it looked awesome. I was like, I really like how this looks. This looks like something that I might actually be interested in playing. You guys, you guys know how I am when it comes to playing games. I'm really, really, really specific about it.
I'd be trying, guys. I'd be trying. I'd be like, Luca, you would like this game. She'd be like, okay. She's like, okay.
You're very correct.
But this will be like my fifth time saying it, but I feel like if you started over in Cyberpunk from the beginning, they've changed so much since you played it. Yeah. You would fall in love with it.
Oh yeah, you definitely will.
I liked what I played of Cyberpunk initially.
You would like it even more.
Yeah,
because it's just better, and they really
story wise or
they added just like little details were added in like say the origins. And then it kind of made the origins a little bit, not necessarily more important, but there's more detail to who your character is in the origins and throughout the rest of the game. Phantom Liberty is fantastic. Like it's probably one of the best, like, well done gaming, like narrative driven things that's out there. They completely redid the skill trees, and they tied in the attributes and the skill trees all together really well. It's far more balanced than combat. The gunplay's better than what it was at launch. It's just across the board. It's just a better game.
I mean, I definitely believe you for sure. But you just know, how I am when it comes to.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta be in the right mood. I gotta be in the right headspace. I gotta feel like doing it, and that's very rare. But I will say this: I'm about what is it? I'm about 37 hours into Metaphor ReFantazio, and that's been absolutely fucking fantastic. There have been a couple moments.
Watch your mouth, Curtis. Curtis a hater. Go ahead.
What did Curtis say?
He said Cyberpunk is overrated. He must have played it on the console. Anyway, go ahead.
Here we fucking go.
I'm kidding. I'm not.
He's definitely not joking, but all right. But yeah, so I'm enjoying Metaphor ReFantazio again. That's something that was actually shown as well. I am 37 hours in. I'm level 34, level 35 or so, and I've had a couple moments where the game has pissed me the fuck off. But for the most part, I'm really.
Oh, let's talk about that though.
Yes. Okay.
Let's talk about, because I had a few moments like that myself. Yesterday we talked, and you were past the part that I was at. I am now. So you know how you gotta fight 3 bosses. I'm trying to be as vague as possible, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
I have beat 2 of them, and then I would have beat the 3rd one, but it was late, and I was just like, I'm going to bed. Forget this. Like, I'm trying to get good sleep nowadays. So I just went back to, how like you can, if you're halfway through a dungeon, you can just stop at your little rest area, save, and then leave, and then you can just pick it up the next day. I still got some days left because I've done. I did 1 side quest, and I got a lot of experience off of that. And I think I kind of did what you did, where I started another one, but that last boss was that last one. I did not have the DPS to drop him, and the thing with Metaphor that I enjoy more with the combat than say previous Atlas games is it doesn't take much to turn a battle, and you could be doing really well, and especially if you're fighting a boss where you might be a little under leveled, so it's taking a while, but just let that boss get one really good turn, and you might as well either just reset or get ready to see the fantasy is dead, because you're about to be dead, and it's just like I got the guy down to maybe about 25% health twice, and both times, like, he got one really good turn and then just wiped my party, and I'm just like, damn it, I don't have I'm not at the right level for this, so I don't have the right archetypes, which I do enjoy that too, that all the different archetypes and discovering them and unlocking them is pretty cool.
Dude, I love that you could be switching those archetypes out on the fly.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. And it is such a time save when it comes to like some of the more tedious parts of the Persona franchise, where it's like, damn, I didn't bring the right Persona. I didn't bring the right party members. I got to go back and get the right people. Another thing, you don't know this yet, slight spoiler, but you can switch your party members out on the fly too. You don't have to go back to the beginning. So when you finally get that 5th party member that you need, you can you can do it in the middle of the battle slow-mo.
What? Okay. All right.
I know
Atlas is out here. They out here styling on them now. Okay. In the middle of the battle, that's pretty
middle
dope.
Of battle, dude.
When this comes to turn-based combat, I have wanted to do that for so many games for so many years. I have been in the middle of a battle and realized I ain't got the right person for this. and been like, and I'm not just talking about Persona games. I'm talking about other turn-based games from the past as well, like Final Fantasy games, stuff like that. And I wanted to just be like, forget mid battle, just mid like dungeon without a save point. Wanted to be able to switch them out and not being able to. And it's good that someone has finally done that. I don't know why that has been something that they have avoided doing for so long, though.
I mean, like artificial difficulty, I would say or something more so. Like you really got to sit and think about who you're gonna bring, but at the same time, it's like you're not gonna know who you're gonna need until you're in there, unless you're looking up a guide.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Exactly. And that's probably, it's probably a lot of people they don't complain about it because they're looking at guides to figure out, which I get looking at a guide after you've already tried. Like, I don't get looking at guides when you haven't even attempted the dungeon yet or the boss yet. That's where I'm like, it's like you're missing some of the fun there. Like, I want to kind of like figure it out myself before I go look for something to kind of give me the answer. Go ahead, Singer.
Well, that's the thing. It's like guides. It's like Baldur's Gate 3. I do this for all RPGs. Like, the fun is in the exploration, right? Baldur's Gate 3, I just pick a direction and go that way, and I come across something interesting. Is it something to do with the main quest? Probably not. Am I going to do the quest? Probably. Will something hilarious happen? Most definitely. And then I just go, well, okay, let me go this direction. And then you're like, this direction. And then you realize that's what I do in Metaphor. It's like, let me go in the dungeon and let me just go look around. I have eyes, I have ears, and I have hands. And I have gaming skills. So let me go run the dungeon. And unless I'm truly lost, like if there's like a crazy puzzle that I just can't figure out, I don't know what you would go for a guide.
and like the cool thing is you can just reset. You know what I'm saying? Like during the battle, you're like, shit, this is shit. It's not going well. I'll reset.
I like that too. Just hit the button. Yeah, just hit the button and reset. Sometimes I've done that when the battle started off wrong, and I just like, I shouldn't have started with that. And then you kind of see like, man, I'm just gonna reset and start again. I mean, it's the beginning. It's like only two turns in. Like, I'll go ahead and reset at this point. And then I'll reset when I know, for example, there's some battles. I'm trying to be as vague as possible. There's some battles where you need to beat an enemy within a certain number of turns. Kind of like how you have strategy RPGs that are like that, where you may have like, it's all about the number of turns. You have like Fire Emblem Three Houses, but like this is like it'll say you have to beat this enemy within 3 turns, and they got like a very special way that they fight where you need to have specific items or specific abilities in order to be able to achieve doing that in 3 turns. And it takes longer to start over if you die than you just hit the reset. I just hit the reset because I'm just, especially if I'm like right there at the end, I'm just like, no, I'm not killing him in 3 turns. Let me just start over.
It's a good way to like also test out your abilities. Like for me, that's what I did for those enemies. Those enemies, I fought them, and I was like, am I doing enough damage? And then it gave me a good gauge to see how many more levels would I actually need before I can actually beat this guy, right? And it gave me a good gauge to how much I should actually be trying to level up beforehand. Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to add that point.
Oh
as
no,
well.
you good. Yeah. No, it's just it's a good time. It's a good game. I think it's so far, it's my game of the year so far. I think I can say that. I haven't beat it yet, so that could change. Like I'm only about 31 hours in, and at level 29. The whole back half of the game could be absolute garbage in these reviews. You know how a lot of reviewers don't finish games.
You don't have to finish the game to review it.
You're right. And it could completely change. But so far, like, I mean, the way I'm enjoying it and what it's kind of providing for me, like, I think the highlights of this year for me has definitely been like Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but like I'm enjoying this more than those so far. And yeah, man, I if it's not in the game of the year conversation, then I don't know what to say.
Oh,
I think it deserves it because Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was my front runner for Game of the Year. Because it is truly a fantastic game. And then Metaphor now has toppled it easily. Like, as much as I love Yakuza, it's like, this is just such a great game. So well done. Like, everything about it, I absolutely love.
It's
So
fantastic, dude.
And there is nothing else coming out that would get me to think otherwise. Because I'm thinking what other games are coming out that might topple it. And none of them I'm getting the same excitement from playing. Just thinking of playing them. Like I was thinking of playing Metaphor. Go on. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Dragon Age: The Veilguard is probably the last game that has the opportunity to really to like legit put itself in the game of the year conversation of games that haven't come out yet. Oh, you think so?
No. I don't know. I mean, honestly, no, I don't think so. But as it stands right now, we don't know, because why are they taking so long to get those review scores out? Explain that to me. We don't even know when they're coming. What's going
on? Sure. Yeah, I don't know when the embargo is up for that game.
I'd at least like to know when the embargo is up. That like when I should expect it.
What's weird is what's the name of that game? Life is Strange Double Exposure comes out this week, next week. And I think it comes out on the 29th or something like that. And I'm already seeing some streamers uploading, like they streamed part of it and upload part of the playthrough. And I'm like, is the embargo up for that? Like that was odd to me. I was just like, yo, when did no reviews are out? Like, I don't know if that was kind of how like every now and then a content creator slips up and they may actually upload something too early. But this is like 10 days. Like, I don't know. Like embargoes are weird. And usually when it's a long embargo, the embargo is up like well before launch. It's usually confidence by the publisher or developer that it's good, and we want as many people to know it's good before it comes out. So we're fine with reviews being up a week before launch, because that's a week of people reading them, people seeing people's gameplay of it, and getting hyped up for it before it launches. And then typically, not always, but typically, when it's like embargo's up 5 seconds before launch, it's like,
yeah, I just want to know when it's coming out, but
you know what's crazy? They are really catering.
Thanks, Jack Move. Jack Move says the first 2 episodes came out on the 15th if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition. Interesting. Okay, that would explain it then, because the preview, the streamer I saw playing it was only playing like the first episode, so that makes sense. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, that makes complete sense, because they cater into the PC audience heavily with this game. I notice as well, because they're like, you don't need to log in with the EA. You just play it standalone on Steam. It's $60, and it has no de novo. Right? So it's like, that is music. They made sure they push that, because they're like, the PC players are going to eat this up. Because Steam users, well, they'll be like, no de novo. They'll buy it just for that. But then
I said this to Forte and Singer. Luke, I kind of want to know if you guys think the same. Although I like that EA has done that for Veilguard, I kind of feel like it is internally a little worrisome that they kind of like buck in their usual trends for this game, as if they really want to try to do everything to make sure this game succeeds, because if it doesn't, who knows? Like, it might be pretty bad for BioWare.
I mean, I'm gonna say something controversial. All right. I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, obviously, because like that sucks. This economy's awful. Yeah. That being said, after 2 flops, Like, come on, if they flop a third time, it
Right.
is what it is.
Yeah, like
Like,
the whole 3 strikes you're out. So
mhm.
like Anthem flop, Mass Effect Andromeda flop. If Dragon Age the Veilguard flops, I mean that's gotta be like for investors of EA, that's gotta be definitely a no confidence kind of situation where a lot of changes are going to happen. And I want another Mass Effect. They're working on that, in the background. That's not coming out for a couple of years, but
That joint's not coming out if Veilguard flops, bro.
exactly.
That's
So
the
that's
thing.
why I feel like they're doing all this stuff to try to like eliminate any opportunity for PC gamers. And look, I am a PC gamer, but some of y'all be tripping. Some of y'all like be getting on your Viva La Revolution off of anything.
Hello?
Oh my God, it's the EA launcher. I'm boycotting. Oh my God, it's the Nouveau boycotting. Oh, is that artifacting? There's no DLS at launch. Boycott. It's just like, bro, can you shut up and play the game sometimes? Like sometimes I just feel like y'all just be like upset to be upset, and y'all just want to like stick it to a publisher, which I understand sometimes, but then also like, are you a gamer? Do you want to play games? I don't. It just seems like y'all don't want to play games sometimes. So whatever.
I do have to say it from the other side though, devil's advocate. Look how many broken PC ports we're getting for games now. Look how many come out in a fucking shit state. Like, they can't be getting away with this shit and expecting everyone to buy it when you're half-assing the release of a game. And it's happening way more frequently now. More games are releasing and they're having issues. And it's like, well, take your time and make a good port.
I don't have any issues with them coming at like doing everything they can to make sure the game launches properly. I think that's great because they want it to be successful. But like again, like that shit's a failure, dude. It's a failure. And if whatever happens to BioWare afterwards happens, I hope the game is good. I'm looking forward to it and everything like that. But it is what it is, man.
Very true.
Very true.
All right, so you want to get into this partner preview?
Yes, I sent Nautical the link.
He probably fell asleep in between getting the link. Shout out to Forte.
Okay. But yeah, so what else? Okay, let's see here. Wuchang Fallen Feathers. Okay, if somebody wants to go ahead. Explain
another
that
Souls-like.
It's
an Souls-like. It's just another Souls-like.
What makes you say
that?
I
mean, is it? I don't know if it's Souls-like. I don't know. Did they say it was Souls-like?
Yeah, it's Souls-like. I do believe they said Souls-like. Because when I looked it up, they were like, "Oh, this new Souls-like is coming out." They referred to it as a Souls-like, the developer. So I'm going. I mean, well, when you look at the combat, it kind of gives the Souls thing. Watch, you'll see in the trailer. Watch. It's kind of got the Souls combat where you're dodging, you're having to roll and everything.
You want to know what this game reminds me of? And it's not necessarily all the combat. I think it's just the setting, the visuals, like the level design, and the protagonist. But you remember Team Ninja's game? They came out with a Souls-like recently. And it was like, I think it was timed exclusive on. No, it wasn't timed exclusive. I think it had like Xbox had the marketing. Maybe it came out last year. I can't remember.
Sekiro? No, not Sekiro.
Nah.
That was
Neo? Neo?
That's
no, it's not Neo.
That's Team Ninja.
It wasn't. Yeah, but it wasn't Team Ninja. I mean, it wasn't Neo. It was. I think people said it was kind of like Neo. It was, the combat was very parry heavy.
Was it the one that came to Game Pass?
Yes,
eventually.
It was in Game Pass. Yeah.
Yes. It was something
Fallen
Dynasty or something. It was based in China, right? It was Chinese based.
Wulong.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. The visuals remind me of Wulong. Combat wise, like it's. I think anything with this like camera setting and it's melee focused, people immediately go Soulslike, and it's just like I don't know if like you are actually a Souls-like if you're not doing like everything else that like a From Software Souls game would actually do, outside of just kind of just having the combat look like that. So I mean, me personally, I'm a little tapped out on Souls-like games. I'm not. Yeah, I'm a little tapped out. I think the really good ones, like I tried first Berserker Kazan, and that was actually pretty cool. And I think when that comes out, that's going to really make some noise in the gaming industry. It's going to do really well. AI Limit, I've been waiting for that game for years, and when I played it, I was not enjoying that. It was like if someone wanted to make a sequel to Code Vein, but just decided to just make the character models look better and not do anything else. That's what it made me feel like. So it's just I feel like there's just too many Souls lights right now.
I mean, this is coming to Game Pass, so I'm willing to try it on there to see how it plays, and then make a decision on how I feel about the game after the fact. Because it's coming to Game Pass anyway, so it's worth a try.
Well, I hope for their sake, it's supposed to come out in 2025. It appears today that people found that Black Myth Wukong has been rated for Xbox, so that should come out way before this shows up. So as long as they avoid Wukong, because I kind of feel like they're so similar in themes and combat that people would just play Wukong over this universally. So, yeah.
Overall, yeah.
What do you think, Luca? Is this something you would play?
All right, let me take a look at it. I actually, this looks like something interesting that I would consider playing. But I do not play Souls likes or Soul Lights or anything like that. Like I'm
you
not
just play
interested in those.
Souls.
I just play,
you just play actual From Software.
Yeah, I play From Soft games. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to see. Like there's a couple Souls likes I played the Surge, and then I'll keep it real with you. That's probably like the only one I played. Oh, and then what was it? Ashen, I think I played a little bit of that.
What was the other one that had like a very similar like themes to Bloodborne? It was like an indie dev that did it. It was kind of decent.
Liza P.
No. Liza P is very good, but not that one. It came out before Liza P, I think, and it was. I'm so bad with names, but it was similar to Bloodborne in themes, but I think level design was not great, but the bosses were all right. I know Thymesia, that's it.
I love Thymesia. The level design was not great, but those bosses were fucking awesome. Shout out to Persona. Me and him were playing it around the same time, so I didn't beat it. I got to the last boss, and then I went on vacation, and then I didn't go back after I got back. But yeah, the game is like the bosses are fucking awesome for it. So I really enjoyed it, and it was like $20, $25 or something like that. It was
it was well worth the price. Yeah. What else here? We got this is I think interesting. So
it is interesting.
Remedy. Remedy came out with two games. Well, two trailers. One was for the DLC for Alan Wake 2 called The Lake House. And the other one was their announcement of this game, which is a spinoff from Control that's multiplayer called FBC Firebreak. And it seems like it takes place. Yeah, I'm older. Come on. It takes place in inside the oldest house, which is the setting of Control. And you're not Jesse Faden, the main character from Control, but you're like one of the other random agents, and not the dead ones, because it was dead ones everywhere, but one of the other random agents that works there. And I think it's kind of interesting because it's a first-person shooter, and I'm like, the only first-person shooter I know Remedy has worked on was Crossfire X, which was probably one of the worst first-person shooters ever. So, I hope they kind of learned from that experience when they making this one. But I think it's a little interesting. Singer, what do you think about this?
I'm personally not a fan. It looks. Thing is, it's like I understand it's a 3-player co-op and we don't have too many co-op games. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know. It reminds me too much of like other games I played before. There's like when I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is like Left 4 Dead and other like horde games where you co-op and you just have to kill a whole bunch of enemies. So it might be actually cool, but I'm not completely sold on it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pass judgment on it, but it don't even look like their game engine, like Northlight engine.
Mm-hmm.
Northlight engine is a very like cutting edge kind of game engine where like Remedy is typically like you look very, very demanding. Like Control was one of the first games to start implementing like heavy ray tracing in games, implementing upscalers, and really trying to push visuals. Sure, this is a multiplayer game, so you're gonna have to make some concessions there, but this looked like something from Unreal and not necessarily Northlight engine. And so then that's also concerning to me, because if you did this in Unreal and your developers are used to working on that proprietary engine, I've seen enough developers screw up with Unreal Engine 5, and I don't even blame them. I blame Epic for having an incomplete game engine for half this generation. But that's a concern of like traversal stutter, animation stutter, all kinds of issues with the game actually running properly. I don't know. Look, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm not interested in that.
Are you surprised?
Time to move on then.
I did think that Alan Wake DLC looked really good. I'm not interested. Like,
it does look good.
In Alan Wake in itself, like the gameplay doesn't appeal to me. But I was like, oh, this is like a cool little horror theme, and I'm glad that Alan Wake 2 did well enough to have these opportunities to continue on with the franchise with the DLC. I think that's fucking great. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, it's got that one actress in it. I can't remember her name, but I've seen her in a lot of stuff. She does a lot of video games as well, but she's also been in like movies and TV shows too. She's in it. It seems like she's the main character, but like the gameplay looks like Alan Wake 2's gameplay. So it's not, even though it seems to have a tie-in, as they tend to do with their other IP with Control. So it's tying into Control. It's not playing like Control, because you don't have powers and stuff, but it does look good. It's just that like I found I don't know if I can just like buy this and then just play that. I know it's DLC. I already own Alan Wake 2 though. I don't know why I bought it, because it ain't really my jam, and I thought it was boring. But if I can just play the DLC and not have to play the base game to get to the DLC, that'd be great. Especially considering like the main character you're using isn't even like in the game, the base game. I don't think so. I think that would make sense, but who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Next, Cronos, the New Dawn announced. I was very confused. I was sitting there like, what's going on, man? Shout out to them. I think that this will be real quick. I think this will be much better received now that Silent Hill 2 remake did quite well. But again, we'll have to see. But go ahead, Singer.
Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say. It's like they're riding high on remaking a game, and it's like, well, you kind of expected to do good, but now you're going back to new IP, and we saw how your last like original IP turned out. So, people thought I was crazy for throwing a question mark after Silent Hill 2, but I'm like, that's an already established game. The writing's already done, the characters already done. The script's already done. The story's already done. All you have to do is go in and adjust the visuals.
But they had to do a little bit more than that, because Silent Hill 2's the way you control the character was different then. So they had to actually change that. They had to change the camera angles. So it wasn't just like and then of course the engine is way older, so that they had to do it all in Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
So So it was more work than because the game is so old than just say like a remaster. But I do agree with you, like story, theme, all that other stuff was already established. Plus, it's like a classic game that a lot of people who enjoy that genre were already all in on. So they could kind of rely on that nostalgia factor. So I think I agree with you that it's easier, not necessarily easy because nothing is easy in game development, but it's easier to nail a remake of a great game than create your own IP and have it be on the same level. So I don't think Bloober Team is completely out of the woods with their reputation, but I think people give them a little bit more respect after Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, I mean, after the Medium and like Blair Witch and stuff, I mean, hey man, ooh, I hope for the best for this game. I hope for best for Bloober, because if they have another colossal, if they have another game received like the Medium was, I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, it looks interesting.
Yeah, I read the synopsis of the story, and it's real. It's some real crazy sci-fi time travel kind of stuff in there going on in there. It looks interesting though.
Yeah, it's I'd like I'm assuming that the old woman, maybe she was like sick or something.
I think the old woman is. So this is my idea. Sorry, I cut you off, Luca. But I think they're playing chess, and I think it's like he's fighting the old woman, but she's a monster. So even though they're playing chess, that's kind of like a mind game, and he's really like fighting her, even though they're showing chess. Because you see, it keeps going back and forth between like he's in that house, and then he fights this monster. I think she is the monster, but I don't know. Maybe that's just my interpretation.
Did he win the chess game? I thought he lost.
Did he lose? Yeah, he did lose. Then he threw the board and just shot her, right?
He threw the board and then he had some contraption come out of his hand and reached for her face. So that's what's making me wonder if it's like, because that's what I thought too. I was like, maybe she's a monster, but then I was like, well, maybe she's sick or something and she's going to turn into one of those things. And he's like stopping her. Maybe something's up with him and maybe he's not the good. Maybe we're not a good guy while we're playing this. Like clearly there's something wrong going on, but that kind of thing. So I thought it was really interesting. I like that concept as well. Guys see gameplay and everything like that to get a better idea. And I know that they went into detail about these games after the fact. I just watched the trailers though, guys. I just watched the actual like Xbox preview show. So, but yeah, I think it looks interesting. You guys know me. I do not play scary games like that except for Dead Space. So we'll see. We'll see on that, and hopefully it's something good. And I wish them nothing but the best and continued success. I think that when people put in good work, they should succeed. They should, but when people who don't put in good work should fail. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, we just continue on with that. All right. Okay. Oh, go ahead, Singer.
Yeah, this is him.
Right. Now, I was excited to hear about the new Yakuza game. Now, this looks really, really fun, and I'm glad they chose Goro. What is his name? Goro Majima. Goro Majima as the main character because he is completely batshit insane. He is crazy, but he is fun, and he is the perfect character to cast as this wacky pirate adventure. Because as much as I love Kiryu, he's the stoic, serious type. Where this Goro is just absolutely batshit crazy, and this game looks amazing fun. It looks like you got this whole ship combat. This is probably what the successor to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. With the ship combat, who knows? They got the whole arena. It just looks mad fun. If you like Yakuza games, this is definitely another hit. And it's a surprise hit as well. Because me and plenty of others thought that Infinite Wealth was going to be the only game for a while, but they got this one so soon after Infinite Wealth this year as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for everybody who likes these types of games and this franchise. So I hope it's great and it lives up to your expectations.
Oh, it
Yeah,
should
ain't
do
for me.
because the thing is that the main character cast is what makes it. Like if they casted like Kiryu or something, I don't think it would have gone the same way. But because they chose Goro Majima, oh man, it's gonna be hilarious. You're gonna be laughing most of the time because he is completely insane.
It's just so
Right?
goofy. Like Yakuza games always are so like you can't take them serious, and I don't think they intend for you to take them serious, but it's just the goofiness just kind of loses me. So, but I understand a lot of people enjoy him, so I hope they enjoy this one.
Yeah, we're all into different things,
Right.
Alrighty. Let's see here.
Animal
Animal.
Well.
Oh, so when I was watching this, I was listening. I was like, "Is that Donkey? That's Donkey, right? That's the YouTuber who made his own studio."
Oh, is it? I don't know. Like I just know that like I thought the voice was familiar because he was just sounding goofy as all get out talking about shadows, but I don't know. Like these kind of side scroller games, so I dig some of them, and then sometimes I guess I gotta be in the mood for them. But this one looks interesting though because this seems to use a lot with like light and shadows as a part of the gameplay. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, you know, at first when I heard the voice, I was like, "You're doing too much, buddy." But then I realized it was Donkey. I was like, "Oh, okay, okay. I understand. Yeah, I got it. I got it." And I think other people who like will recognize his voice and see that it's his studio, they'll give the game support based on that as well. So I think it looks
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Not really my doesn't really hold my interest personally. But yeah, for sure. I think it looks great though. And I hope it is another title that ends up being successful. I know that he said that it was out. So you guys gotta let me know for anyone who uh plays it. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm very
Right.
hit and miss on these kinds of games. It's like because some of them I enjoy, some of them I don't. Like I enjoyed Celeste, I enjoyed Ori, both Ori games. But some of them like this one didn't really trigger that interest. But I'm really glad people are still, these games are still out here because they are really good.
yeah, what I really like about the showcase is that they showed a diverse group of games, and it was just game
Right.
after game after game after game, and I feel like
Yeah.
it had a little bit of something for everybody and all different
Mm-hmm.
kinds of genres, and I really like that aspect of it, and I feel like, this was an unexpected thing that came out and ended up being successful in my eyes, so
Agreed.
alright, and then, what is that? Blindfire? Yeah, not interested personally, but, we're all into different things. Uh,
I am intrigued because it's a first person shooter, but I that, I can tell look, this ain't gameplay. Like and I got into this with Forte because Forte was like, I mean, well, he agreed this wasn't gameplay because it was way too scripted. But you know, the way I kind of like feel about it is just because you're showing me a first person perspective doesn't mean I'm actually seeing someone play the game. And so I like to see when people actually play first person shooter games so that I can kind of get a feel of what gunplay is really like without actually having to play it. And when I do play it, even then it kind of changes depending on when you actually play it. But it's it's interesting to me. Oh wait, that's an actual match. Okay, all right. Well,
Oh,
yeah, I was,
really?
like, confused. I was like, "What are you talking about? That wasn't gameplay." I was like, "What?"
no, the trailer wasn't gameplay
Oh,
because
okay.
gameplay is someone playing the game and not a scripted thing. For example, like when they first showed Halo Infinite multiplayer, they didn't
Mhm.
show actual gameplay. It was like a detached camera, and it was all script. Like the guy had like 3 no scope hip fire headshot sniper kills in a row, and then grab the axe out of the air and hit somebody with the axe. Like, that's not real. I want to see someone actually really playing the game, and this is someone actually really playing the game. This was not in the showcase. No. This is I guess just IGN just had this, and so this was like next up on after you watch the trailer.
I'll be honest, I can't see shit, man. You know, not being able to see shit. I mean, I know that's the point. I understand that's the point, but just not being able to see shit, I'm not with it, man.
This is not interesting to me whatsoever.
No, I mean,
looking at it now.
To be honest, it just looks like laser tag when you used to play it.
I want to go play laser tag. Let me message my coworkers and say we should go do that. I want to go play laser tag.
You would be Odd Job in GoldenEye playing laser tag, Luca.
That is a reference I don't understand or know.
That's okay.
But yeah, it
everyone
does look
else gets it.
Like the arena, the way the guys are dressed, the whole neon theme. Because when you play laser tag, you have like red versus blue, and the entire area zones lit up, and there's all like this neon stuff going on, and it looks really, really cool. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Look at this! All this neon stuff. This is laser tag, just with guns."
It's like so. Why was it like when the player died, he couldn't see anything, but the person that killed him is seeing all this neon stuff all over the place? Like, I don't understand. Like, clearly, you're in a factory. You know, it's an arena style game in a factory, and there's no lights, but like, and you can see people's gunfire, like the fire from that. But like, where does the neon stuff come from? Is that like an ability? I don't know. It moves too slow for me. Like, these people are. I get it. It's dark, so you're not supposed to run, but it's just way too slow. I can't get with it.
And unless you're not supposed to run because you can sound hold the game or something.
Honestly, you probably can't run, which, and yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, Mouse PI for hire.
Oh yeah, we discussed this earlier. Yeah, I think this is great. This looks great.
Okay, you want to move on from it?
Yeah.
And do you guys have anything else you want to say?
Nah, I pretty much said what I said. I had to say about it earlier.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it does remind me of 13 now. If you played the game 13, it's got that kind of aesthetic. Except 13's in color. And 13 was just a great game anyway, because when you snipe someone, it goes into the comic strip, and it shows you the bullet hit the head, and it goes like, pow. It's great. I love these kinds of games. They need to make more of these, I think.
I feel like it would kill the vibe.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. Legend of Baboo.
Not for me.
Yeah, this definitely ain't for me.
Yeah.
This looks like kind of like one of those Last Guardian games where it's a lot of the game design is based around your character who's a child and some kind of animal, and you guys like doing things together, or you sending the animal out to kind of help you traverse through the map or help you in combat or something.
It's not your jam?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
It looks good though. I think it definitely looks like something I can see people enjoying for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it looks like a decent AA game.
Yeah, I think it looks good. All right. Oh my goodness, when I saw this, I was like, of course. Okay, so here's the thing. I did watch some of Fairy Tail, and then I was like, not for me. I was actually more of a Rave Master fan. I don't know if anyone like the manga. So I read the Rave. I remember being younger and like drawing. I believe what's his name, Haru, over and over and over again. I think that's what his name is. I do not remember, but anyway, like when it comes to that art style, I was like, yeah. The main two characters always look the fucking same. It's always some variant of that spiky ass hair and then a long haired girl, man. Like, anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But that's
Yeah.
because they are. Because like Eden Zero, obviously it is Natsu and it's Lucy and it's happy, but it's mashed with Rave Master. So it's Fairy Tale of Rave Master smashed together, right? That's what Eden Zero is. It's both of them combined. That's why that one character on the ship looked like Urza Scarlet. That's because it is Urza Scarlet, but they're in a different universe. It's really weird how they explained it, but I enjoyed
oh,
Eden Zero.
okay, interesting.
And I really enjoyed Rave Master, and I really enjoy Fairy Tale. Like, I've watched all of Fairy Tale, all 8 seasons or whatever. I'm even watching the 100 Years Quest right now, which is really, really good. So I'm a huge fan, and it's a game about Eden Zero, so I might be into it because I love my generic trash anime. So, amen. You know,
I just could never get into Fairy Tale, man. I don't know why. But what's up, Nautical? And then go ahead, Slow.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting just because, like, in the snippets of actual combat they showed, they reminded me of Zenless Zone Zero, which I enjoyed the combat of that game. I just felt like it wasn't enough combat for me to stay invested with all the gacha system stuff that's going on. So if this does not have a gacha system connected to it, I might give this a shot.
It doesn't. This is like all the other anime games, like the Fairy Tale game that came out, the Sword Art Online games that come out. It's just based on because Eden Zero is on its 2nd season, right, and it's popular right now. So they decided to make a game about it. You know, they already made a Fairy Tale game; they may as well make an Eden Zero game. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm in.
Nautical?
What it do, my boo boos? Missed you guys.
What it do, baby boo? Missed you too.
What it do, Forte?
What it do, man.
What up?
Showing all the love and support I love to my favorite 3 people in the entire world of YouTube and Twitter. You know,
I know
really
that's right.
I'm sorry I didn't jump in right when you said. As soon as you sent me the link, my mom called me. So you know, when mom calls, you're on the phone for like 15, 20 minutes. So that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't jump in right away, because she literally called me when you sent the link.
Makes perfect sense to me.
But no, I'm here, man. So what we talking about? We talking about that experience of Xbox had the other day?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It was good. I liked it. It was something for everybody there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I definitely thought it was a really good showcase. They did exactly what they needed to do in this particular instance, I would feel.
Yeah, I was telling Slomo on DPS that it was like watching that was like going to the movies and just watching all of the trailers before a movie came out, because it was literally just trailer, more trailers, no commercial, nobody talking, just trailer. And I was like, see, it's not that hard to, like, you know, appease the people. We don't.
Less is more.
Yeah, less is more. And one thing I do like, I like how they, you know, it's not like they're not still giving people the more information about the games and stuff. They're just telling you, like, at the end of every trailer, they're saying, hey, if you want to know more, Xbox Wire is the place to go. And then for the people that want to see stuff like that, head over to Xbox Wire. So they've done that before in the past, but it just seems like they kind of fully just committed to it now, instead of trying to like half-pass it every once in a while. They just put on a great show. And I think, you know, that was good. Now we just need them to do that when it comes to first party, and we'll all be happy.
All right, sweet, man. All right. A shout out to Mon. Welcome back, my boy. Appreciate you as always. All right, so
this game is so up my street.
Like Strands. This is the first game by Yellow Brick Games. They are a
Mike Laidlaw.
I would say Mike Laidlaw, who was the lead director for all of the Dragon Age games. So they're a studio that's primarily ex-BioWare developers. And this is their first game. They're kind of doing something a little different than what we knew from BioWare. So out of all the ex-BioWare devs that have started their own studios, this was probably the most different. It's an action RPG and it's fantasy, but it seems like there's like a lot of environmental combat and combining of abilities. It looks dope. I'm definitely interested in this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like so when I found out who was behind the game, I was like, okay, I know who these people are. I know they do good work. Everyone enjoys the Dragon Age games. So I was like, okay. And this game just looks fun. I mean, I saw some people complaining about the art, so I don't care. Like, I know this is gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time.
Luca, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it looks great, man. I think that I'm willing to give it a shot for sure, just based on the talent behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. Forte? Look, he's having a conversation.
I am. My wife just called me.
All right, we're talking about Eternal Strands. Never mind. Okay, so we'll just move on. Mistfall.
Now this looks awesome. I really like how
Yeah,
this looks for sure.
this
up
one
my
definitely
alley.
looked interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one.
Another one that's kind of like Souls-like ish. I don't know if it's really going to be Souls-like because we didn't really get a ton of detail, but the combat looked good. I thought this was dope. Luca, what were the elements of it that you like?
I really like the gameplay, the style. Lord have mercy. It kind of reminded me of God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, but like it was cool having different gameplay styles. So you saw the rogue, you saw the mage, like a berserker class, knight and shield, that kind of thing. So I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
this definitely seems like something that I would be interested in for sure.
Yeah, and it's like the themes are so dark. It looks really good. It looks really
Yeah.
good.
It
Singer, are
really
you gonna play
does.
this?
Oh yeah, I mean it's dark fantasy. It's like really like dark and gloomy. It's the same thing. Elden Ring is like the same aesthetic, kind of. It's all this like dark. It's not pretty and happy. It's like yeah, let's go into the doom, depressing world where everyone dies and everything's
I know
absurdly
that you love
horrible.
that.
Well, I love Warhammer. I love Warhammer. So that says it all. If you know Warhammer 40k, the universe, yeah, everything's dark and depressing in that. So yeah, this is just I like it. I like it. Dark fantasy and high fantasy. I go for both. And yeah, it just looks like a great game.
Sweet.
Yeah, I can already see some of the different like weapons and combat styles I would want to try just based off of what the trailer shows. Yeah, I'll be definitely be interested in this.
Family.
Yes.
I have a
Mhm.
question to ask y'all.
Sure.
And it's just a straight up answer. You know, we ain't got to overthink it. Who is Frankenstein?
The
The
monster.
doctor.
No, sorry, the
Doc-
doctor. The doctor.
The doctor.
Yeah.
Yes. The doctor.
Okay, they said the doctor. Even though it's slow-mo did say the monster at first.
Yeah, no, it's the doctor.
Sometimes I am dyslexic, and in my mind I was thinking.
Dyslexic in your mind? He said it out loud.
Listen to me. I'm thinking. I was thinking it's not the monster, and I said the monster, but I should have just said the doctor. But go ahead.
Okay. No. All right, babe. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Yep. Yeah. It's the doctor. No, she called me because she's like just asked me that question and was like, "Where is this going?" And she said, "Who's Frankenstein?" And I was like, "The monster that was created by like lightning and all this other crazy stuff." She's like, "No, it's the doctor." I was like. And then when she said to explain it to me, I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. But everybody just assumes that Frankenstein is the monster.
Yes,
I
based
think
on like
it's
the
because
cartoons and stuff. Yes,
it's a misconception because of the cartoons
and
and
the
things. Yeah.
popular. It's you think about Frankenstein, we all think about the monster, but it's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
It's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Yep.
Right.
Thank you for entertaining my wife's thoughts for a half a second. Appreciate y'all. Bye, babe. She's so proud of y'all. She said y'all got it right. Her best friend is the one she was arguing with on the phone, and she needed somebody to break the tie.
Break the tie. When you're right, you're right, and when you're wrong, you're wrong.
Well, listen.
They thought it was an opinion. I mean, it's a fact.
That's what I said.
Like, it's
I was
how
like, all you gotta do is look it up online. I said, all you gotta do is just Google it.
There's a movie too. There's like
there is.
I think that came out in the 90s. The movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's the Doctor. The Doctor is Frankenstein. The monster is his creation. So.
The monster of Frankenstein. Yeah. All right, back to what we were talking about.
Mistfall Hunter. What do you think, Forte?
I can't remember the name. What kind of game was that? Could I
literally just told you the name.
Well, no, I was talking to my. Well, of course, I was listening. I was having a conversation. I just needed. I don't remember what the name of the. I remember what the games look like. I don't remember the names of all the games. So, what kind of game was it?
Mistfall Hunter. Upcoming Soulslike.
Oh man! This is the one we kept talking about. Why the hell is there so many goddamn Souls games? Like,
yeah,
it's like everybody's copying everybody, and the reason is like I don't have a problem with it
because they're successful. That's why.
Exactly, that's why. So I don't have a problem with it. It's super successful, and everybody's going to follow in that direction because when you have games like Wuchang selling 10 million, and you got Elden Ring doing this, and Sekiro making Game of the Year, and people clamoring for a Bloodborne 60 frames per second patch, it tells you that people want to play these games. So I understand why it's happening. It's just like I feel like it's some type of fatigue out there and everybody's doing it. So I'm like, okay, it looks good. It looks flashy. I kind of like the it kind of looks like it's just as fast as Sekiro when it comes to like speed and agility and stuff. So I kind of like that too. So I hate the slower versions of Souls games. So I think this is going to probably appeal to more people. Probably even more people than Elden Ring. No, not more than Elden Ring. Elden Ring is just a whole nother thing. I take that back. Elden Ring is a whole nother thing. But
why would you even fix your mouth to say that? To be honest, like what's going on?
but I think it's gonna find an audience because people want to play it. And looking at it, it looks really, really cool. And it's like one of the closest ones next to Sekiro that I definitely was interested in playing. But I do think that fatigue is going to kick in for some people, but it doesn't matter because the majority of people still want to buy and play them.
Okay, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Wheel World.
Oh my god! No, we are not riding a bike down a mountain. I'm not carrying it up a mountain. I'm not helicoptering it up a mountain either. We could just skip this game.
Well, you're being real disrespectful to people who like
you
biking.
You said the same thing on we gave this thing 10 seconds on DPS. We didn't even get a chance to say the whole name.
Hey, that's true. Anyway, maybe Singer and Luca want to play this, Forte. I don't know.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And Luca don't play games no more, so be quiet.
First of all, I am 37 hours into Metaphor ReFantazio.
That's what I'm talking about. She plays one game. She plays one game.
I play like 2 games a year. If I feel like it, you know.
If you feel like it, guess what? Those 2 games a year you get your money's worth, boo.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to play no wheels, whatever. Wheels up, wheels down, wheels coming off the car. They don't want to play that.
We're on to different things.
You're not into this.
I apologize to all of those who are interested in Wheel World by Forte's just dismissive.
Well, you can definitely talk about it if you want to. I'm not stopping you.
No, I'm good. Anyway, Luca, it's our favorite party game.
Phasmophobia. Oh my god, when I saw the fucking Phasmophobia, shout out to All Day. Honestly speaking, yeah.
Shout out to All Day.
As soon as I saw Phasmophobia, I'm like, oh brother. Here we fucking go with that goddamn Phasmophobia. But that game, love that.
You gotta admit, we had fun.
It was fun.
Playing this.
All
Day was right.
Fun.
All Day was like, this game would be fun. I said this to Forte. It's the kind of game that like it's got multiplayer. So like if you're playing by yourself and playing with randoms, I don't think it's as fun as playing with friends.
No.
Because talking with friends and Richard, like we were it was boring until you do like so we went into this haunted house, and apparently like the previous owner of the house was like the person haunting it. His name was Richard. Nothing happened until we started like trolling him and calling his name. So we found out what his name is. We were just like, man, where is this dude Richard at, man? Richard. Me and Luca just going, Richard. And then that's when it started to, like, I think we pissed them off. Because
Richard was like, I'm out of here.
Taking us out. He started taking us the fuck out, bro. Like, it was.
Yeah, I think did he get you first? Like, yeah, like you.
He got me
like
first,
all
yeah.
knows. We went into a bathroom.
That's all I remember is the bathroom
Luca started
scene.
yelling, and I saw Luca under the sink, balled up like a piece of paper, and I was like, "Oh no!" I just went running, and then it was like me and all day hiding in like the downstairs bathroom for like 5 minutes because it was like Richard was like banging on the door, and we were just like, "Bro." I bad, man. Like the game is fun. You just gotta play it with friends. So it's kind of like I feel the same way about Among Us, and maybe that's just me. Like I can play Among Us with friends and have a great time, but playing Among Us with randoms is not the move.
Remember when you were telling all day that Luca's definitely the bad guy. Yeah, don't
I
trust
do remember
her,
that.
all that stuff. And I was like, why would you listen to slow-mo? And then he was like, man, fuck Luca, got her the fuck up out of here. And then like it turned out that you were one of the fucking killers. And I was just like,
yes,
what the
it was
fuck,
so
dude?
good.
That was amazing. That was a great time,
Yeah.
man. I miss that guy a lot. Shout out to him. Hope he's doing well with his family and everything. But yeah, so shout out to Phasmophobia, definitely one of those fun with friends games and stuff. And then there was Subnautica too.
Yeah,
I saw like this.
Before you go to that one, I did want to say real quick. I don't think these games like Phasmophobia is. I don't know if it's on PlayStation yet. Oh no, okay, it just says it's coming later this month. So this game was an exclusive game on PC for years, and it was big on PC. Some of the games that go big on PC I don't think they work as well on consoles as they do on PC. So I kind of wonder if this game is going to get the same kind of impact on consoles this month. I think it comes out at a great time because it's very like it's horror centric, scary centric, and it's coming out 2 days before Halloween. So it's good. It's the perfect game if you're the kind of like if you're a streamer or someone who wants to just play something for Halloween with some friends and you want to stream something. You're a console centric streamer. This would be perfect for you, but I don't know if it has the same level of impact that's Among Us did, because Among Us is just popular on everything. And I don't know if this one actually...
It's funny you say that, because another game like that is Lockdown Protocol, which is first-person Among Us, and you actually have to go and do the task yourself. So you're actually playing as the character. So you're running around the ship, and you're actually doing all the tasks, and it's basically just first person Among Us, and it looks like a complete blast. But it's only on PC right now, and of course, it's taken off like a, house on fire, because everyone's like, "Oh, it's Among Us, but first person. Hey, that's great!" And it's got proximity voice chat. So as you're going around doing your tasks and stuff, you hear someone screaming, running down the corridor. He's trying to kill me.
Yo, this is terrible. But I'm gonna say it anyway. Go on TikTok and look up people playing Among Us VR with kids. And it is wrong, but it's so funny. And I felt bad for laughing, but I was cracking up because them kids should not have been in them lobbies. This just got like adults scaring, like this is playing VR. And so VR Among Us is like how you're describing, where you're the one that's actually like, it's not like your top-down isometric view of you walking around and stuff. You're actually in VR walking around. And then you see like a kid trying to do a task in a room, and the imposter runs in and is like, "Hey, little kid, I'm going to get you." And they just start screaming their heads off out of like real fear. And
I love it.
It's wrong, but I was dying. I couldn't breathe, kind of laughing at it. It's just hilarious. So I don't know.
That's why Lockdown took off the way it did, because it was one guy who was the imposter, and he was going to kill these people, and they were doing something funky in the corner. He's like, "Oh, it's a Diddy party in here, then."
Oh,
and then he turned around and walked away. It's so much fun. And if more people want to play it, I'm totally down because first person Among Us is just great. Because I want to actually do the task, and if I want to kill you, I want to be the one to actually pull out the gun and shoot you. It's it's great.
All right. But yeah, so this
Subnautica too.
Subnautica, I saw like some posts on Twitter, and then one of my friends who loves Subnautica messaged me about it, and they were pretty pissed about like the grifting stuff that folks were doing with Subnautica and stuff. So, I was like a little confused because I was like, because I
were they mad at the black guy?
Oh
No.
my
The
god!
black guy in the story.
No.
Black guys can't swim. This is clearly DEI.
Oh man, I can swim. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I can't swim, so yeah.
My wife can't swim though, so I do understand that.
Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up what they said. Hold on.
I kind of like though. The one thing I did like about the trailer is it was like people probably miss it, but there was this basically them announcing co-op in the game. So that's something that I was happy to see when they. Yeah, that's why they showed two people. So they were announcing basically because the first one didn't have co-op, so this one's going to have co-op, which is going to be cool in that game.
And it was it must have been an incredible hit to get a number 2. So, and I know a lot of people do like.
I mean, the first one, the first one had a big DLC. I forget what the name of the DLC was, but the DLC was better than the original game. So,
what kind of game is this exactly? Because I've never played it, and I never really looked into it.
It's an underwater exploration game.
Okay. So, is there a story to it?
Yeah, there's a story.
Okay.
They're probably adding more. I mean, it was like more of an experience and a story built. It's like an experience with a story kind of tacked onto it, where it looks like this one. They're actually building a story around the co-op, which I think is what a lot of people really wanted from the original one. Because the first one, you could beat the first one in like 4 or 5 hours at most. If you flew through it, you could do it in 3. So, looking forward to that one.
Cool. Yeah, I cannot find this post, but yeah, they were definitely. My friend was pretty pissed about people bitching about. Someone called him like Miles Morales, and I was just like,
oh man, not like this.
Oh man,
what's going on, man?
People ain't got no heart out here.
Motherfucker. Sorry, guys.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. Oh, is that all the games?
I think that's all the games. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, but yeah, man, I thought it was great. I'm gonna give it like a 9. What about y'all?
Yeah, I'm giving it that because it's like, as I keep saying every single time, and people question why the state of plays are so low. I need you to show me games that I want to play, and they showed me at least 6 games that I want to play. So I got to score it high. I can't score it low, so I gotta give it an 8, 9. I'm up there.
I give it an 8. I think it was an 8. I think they did a great job in providing diverse content that a lot of different people would like. I think that they had their bigger games from bigger studios like Remedy that were there. It was a good mix of everything. I thought the cadence was good. There was no host sitting down talking to a developer who's really good at his job but not very good at public speaking. So there's a lot of like random and things that they're saying that no one really cares about. It's boring. None of that crap was in there. It was just trailer. And I'm glad that it seems like all of the publishers and platforms get that now, that we don't want to see y'all sitting around talking on the couch. We just want to see games, and that's what we get now from all these showcases. So that's good. So it's a good show.
All right, sweet. Nautical, did you watch the full thing?
I watched the whole thing. Hey, I gave it an 8. I think overall the like I said, it was a lot of games there that I wasn't interested in, but I could see what the attempt was on it. But I also saw quite a few games, at least 3 or 4 games that I was like, I can see myself playing those day one. It really just comes down to when they release versus other games and stuff. But the show was good. Like I said, I like the pacing. I like the overall atmosphere that the award the games had when it came to like showcasing them, and you can't complain with that. That's all I really needed to see.
Right? Scores in the chats, boys and girls. Just let me know. But in the meantime, I thought it was great. Okay, Spider-Man 2 is officially coming to PC, so that would make it about a year and 2 months since the original release last year. So I don't have
Mary
any
Jane mods about to be
crazy. About to have real Mary Jane mods.
Mary Jane is gonna look how people want Mary Jane to look, which is how she should have looked in the first place. I know,
have a BBL, man.
Oh
they're gonna give Mary Jane a BBL, yo.
No, she shall have a BBL, but she'll also be wearing a swimsuit or something, you know.
Right.
We know how this is gonna go. But like you know, the mods are gonna go crazy, and I can't wait. And I was shocked how quick it came.
Yeah, it looks like a year and 2 months, you know.
Also, I guarantee you there'll be a mod for the whole take out all the DEI stuff. Yeah, they're gonna try and mod all that out of the game. I'm sure some people are gonna do it. Like
See, that's something I want to talk about real quick. This whole concept of a game having DEI is the reason why it fails, where it's like a lot of the time a game will have some hardcore DEI diversity shit or whatever, and it still is like successful, you know what I'm saying? But it's like it's baffling to me that some people are like, this game isn't woke because it's successful, and it's just like take Metaphor for instance. Metaphor is a super woke game, super fucking woke. They actually use the word xenophobia in the game. They had an instance where a member of a subjugated race was being racist toward a different group of people, and I'm just like, man, this is like just like real fucking life. It talked about classism, it talked about racism, it talked about all that shit, right? So I'm just like sitting there like, oh, okay, this is like a super fucking woke game, right? So it's really interesting. Like, take Spider-Man for instance. Spider-Man had some instances in the game where I was like, I don't like this. And the biggest thing was like the sidelighting of Peter for Miles. Personally, not a fan of that kind of stuff. I didn't like that they fucked up the Puerto Rican flag and had the Cuban flag in there. That really showed like a lack of care. Really like a huge lack of care, actually. So I didn't like that. And also, you know, as people are aware, I am not a fan of those fucking Mary Jane missions, man. People were on my ass about it. They're like, you know, they're like, listen, you fucking incel. You've never touched or seen a woman before. I'm like, you're right. You are right on that, Bucko.
You're definitely right on that one.
I've never seen a woman before in my life, right? So yeah, it's just like, you know, but that game, like Spider-Man 2 has a lot of woke shit in it too. You know what I'm saying? So, but that game's like super successful as well. So it's just the concept of a game failing solely because it's woke just does not work for me unless the game, I don't know, maybe the one I can really think of is fucking Saints Row. That Saints Row remake, dude. They what were they thinking with that? Making fucking college students when they're gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Shit was just,
you know what's funny about that? It's because Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot of what people would say woke shit in it, but
it does as well.
No one seems to mind. I mean, you can go every which way, every kind of relationship. They go all kinds of things in there, all about. But everything is so natural. Nothing's forced. Like you're not forced into anything. Nothing. It doesn't just slap you in the face. It's like, oh, that's cool. Let me keep it pushing. But I think people really hyper focused on Spider-Man, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the whole console war thing. You know, the Xbox guys pulling out or whatever.
There was a lot of woke shit in Spider-Man, dude, which is fine. But it's just like, you know, it's like I said, that game is successful, but people can't say like, oh, it failed because of woke. Basically, is what the
what was it forced though? What was it naturally
well, let
woven
me
into the
tell
game?
you some moments that had me like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, there was definitely. I was just like,
hey,
man,
Miles. Hey, Miles. Can you help me ask my boyfriend to homecoming? Like,
oh my god,
Spider-Man. Can you? I mean, he didn't say Miles because he didn't know he was like Miles Morales. But hey, Spider-Man. Hey, here, I know you got an app to save people lives. Forget that. I want you to do a 5-part side mission so that you can help me set up this elaborate, you know, asking the homecoming. Why? Why is this in the game? It's dumb. It's just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like if it was a straight boy asking a straight girl to homecoming, it still would be stupid because it's like you really ask Spider-Man to stop his busy time saving other people's lives and stopping supervillains. So to do this, to go run errands for you, to do so you can ask someone to homecoming. Like, yo, grow up.
Yeah, and
like,
I personally, in my opinion, felt like there were some moments where I felt Peter was emasculated. I'm just saying, there were a couple of moments. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Peter and MJ together in this game. In that first one, no. But in this game, I like them together. But there were a couple moments where Mary J like pushed Peter out of the way when he was gonna get attacked by fucking Venom. I'm like, brother, be fucking for real, dude. So like stuff like that, like, yeah, I definitely think there were some things where I'm like, all right, this is a bit much. But the game was still extremely successful despite having those things in it. So it's just like for me, again, like people who claim a game fails solely because of the DEI shit, bro. I just don't think they know what they're talking about. Because again, there's metaphor. Metaphor is in your fucking face when it comes to like all of those elements. You know what I'm saying? So, and then also I was talking to Lino about this. Tales of Arise. Fuck you, Renans! These Renans! Renans. To the point where fucking Alphen and what was that girl's name? Renwell or some shit. Getting on my goddamn nerves.
With the electricity? No, you're talking about the little one. Yeah, she's
the purple hair girl, whatever. Or
every 5 seconds.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying. I'm so sorry, dude. Like, again, I love Tales of fucking Arise, bro. This shit is fire. Sorry, not purple, black or whatever, black hair. But that shit got on my fucking nerves. I was like, shut up. I mean, I understand. They were a subjugated race, man. I understand. It just was annoying as fuck, bro. But that game was still fire. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, I'm just saying that shit was interesting. But shout out to them. I saw somebody on Twitter once again talking about the fucking Mary Jane missions. I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all. I understand that some people liked it. I thought that shit. I just didn't like it. And it has nothing to do with Mary Jane being a woman. I don't want to play as anyone else when I'm playing Spider-Man. I want to play Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Or a variant of Spider-Man. Or somebody with fucking powers. It's the same with like when they had us playing as Aya in Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm like, bro, why am I playing as his fucking wife, man? I don't have any of my tools, my equipment, my utilities, or anything. Shit like that, man. I'm just not a fan. But again, my reasons for disliking something are very, very different from other people's reasons for disliking things. So, I'm not as I don't buy into the concept of something fails just because it has diversity. That shit doesn't even make any sense. It's an illogical statement because you can find several things to contradict that point as well. So.
Spider-Man 2 was not a failed game. Like anyone thinks they failed, like clearly sales wise, it didn't fail. It did fine, but that doesn't mean it's a perfect game. And I think in combat, it's better in combat than the first game, but I think it's weaker in story and weaker in visuals. Somehow visuals are worse in this game. It's very uneven. Yeah, there are times where it looks good, and then there are times where it's just like, what is happening here visually? Like, I don't understand if they just didn't have enough time or whatever it is, but
I thought it looks pretty great the whole way through. Do you have any examples of when it looked bad visually? Or
there are times where Peter looks worse, and I can't remember it. Like when it was fresh in my mind after I first beat it, I could like point out specific missions, but it just with the suits on, they look fine, but it's like facial animation, facial expressions look worse at times. And I didn't see any of that inconsistency in Miles Morales or the first Spider-Man game. Some of this like story-wise and them trying to hand wave things off like, oh, well, because Mary Jane did a boot camp with Silver Sable on a weekend, that now she can clear an entire base of hunters by herself.
Hunters picked by fucking Craven. Like, come on, man. That show's bullshit,
like,
dude.
Hardened killers. and she's beating them with some overpowered alien taser that honestly that she later on transforms into like a super gun that she should have just given to Miles or Peter so they could just clear the entire game. It's just so dumb. It was like and for one of the directors later on to say, yeah, we know y'all ain't like the Mary Jane missions before, and we know y'all didn't want to play as Mary Jane, but we didn't care, and so we just said we'll just make it better and force you to like it. Well, wrong. No one liked it.
I mean,
people still didn't like it.
It's just not me. You know, it's just not for me. But there are definitely other people who did enjoy it for some reason, and we're all into different things, I guess. But anyway, we just move on from that. So anyway, let's see here. What else happened? Okay, so Sean Layden said that console arms race has plateaued. The race is nearly over, and you know who won? AMD. All right. So,
yeah, they did.
I mean, he is correct, and his also other statement to tie in with that when he was talking about how AA dying would be the end for AAA, and I was completely 100% on board with it because it's like if you lose AA, as he said, games cost now like 300 million to make, 400 million to make. They take like 6 years in the oven. You can't take a risk with that kind of game. You'll make a sequel if it's successful, and you'll just keep doing it because that is the safe bet. If you want to take risks, you rely on the AA to bring new ideas and creativity, and then the AAA publishers will go, that's a great idea. Let's make a blockbuster game at that idea. So they feed off each other. And then, but he was saying, if AA and indie go away, what's AAA going to do? They're just going to have to keep making the same shit over because they don't. How are you going to get creative when your budget's 400 million? You ain't going to risk that. Who's going to risk 500 million and 8 years of dev time on a game that they don't know isn't going to sell? Like, no one's going to do that. So
that's why they play it safe.
Exactly, and that's why he said, if it continues, like, gaming's going to die. And I was like, he has a point, and there's something I've been saying for ages, but, gaming is on that way because AA and indies need more support and they need to get pushed more because otherwise AAA will just die as well. Like, AAA can't survive on its own. It needs AA and indie to exist. So, yeah.
I agree. All right. Okay, so Asmongold, the big YouTuber streamer Asmongold has been banned on Twitch for 14 days, which isn't very long at all. No, it's not long. Not. So the reason why he got banned is because he decided to, which is very odd. I mean, I think that when it comes to the top streamers and everything like that who've made their mark like with gaming or things that are not related to like world issues, maybe it's the best thing that they can do is not comment on those things. And it's odd because like Asmongold had even said like last year, he was like, if you don't talk about this shit, then don't talk about it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, he decided to, he was fucking tripping, in my opinion. He was definitely tripping. He decided to be dismissive, and he said, what did he say? Hold on. He basically just said that he didn't care about the people who are dying over in Lebanon and Gaza, what's going on with the genocide being perpetuated by Israel and everything like that. He's just like, he's like, it's cool. He said that what did he say? He's like, if you want to consider it genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for. And it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. So he's just kind of like, well, Dude, you can't say stuff like that, like in general, but you also can't say things like that on platforms like YouTube and Twitch. YouTube's kind of, because I've heard some people say some crazy shit on YouTube and not be banned, but like you can't say things like that. And honestly speaking, the most unfortunate aspect of it is like this concept of applying a blanket statement towards everybody in a culture and everyone in a different country, based on some things that you've heard about some people from that country. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really want to think about it, if we want to talk about genocide being baked into the fucking laws, we're Americans. And not saying,
right,
but we're Americans. You know what I'm saying?
this is
Like,
what our country was built on, was genocide. Like, come
like
on.
Christopher Columbus was not over here. Oh man, let's eat some fucking turkey together, guys. No, dude was raping and pillaging. Emphasis on raping.
He
Spreading
wiped out an
disgusting diseases.
entire culture. There's an entire culture that no longer exists because of Columbus. He thought he was going to India. Yeah, and he landed in somewhere in the Caribbean, and one of the islands were people who basically were completely peaceful, subjugated, enslaved, and raped the entire population, and to the point where they were all dead.
So if you want to talk about genocide being baked into a culture, and then also okay, think about it, not even just that, right? So then there's also, of course, slavery. You know what I'm saying? The slavery thing. You guys, if you remember that, that was like genocide of a people. That's what was going on with slavery as well. Okay. And then not only that, there have been many instances in American history in which we have decided, we as Americans have decided that we're going to subjugate an entire group of people based off the actions of a few, right? So the Japanese internment camps, okay? Then what happened after 9/11? Okay, like, it was a completely baffling statement on his part, because again, this concept of, well, it's antithetical to Western values. I'm like, is it fully antithetical to Western values? Because there are a lot of similarities in that aspect as well. If you are someone who is not a white, straight, cis male, And not even just that, like, even look at what was going on with how they were treating Irish people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, and then there was an instance of how they were treating Italian people poorly. Like, I mean, honestly speaking, guys, it was a completely baffling and incorrect statement on his part. Then he started talking about, like, oh, how they treat women and how they treat LGBT, and I'm just like, okay, so women were not allowed to get divorced until, what was it, the 90s or something like that? Like, they were not allowed to have no fault divorce until, I believe it was the 90s. Somebody can correct me on that. So it's like, oh, I remember how things used to be, and it's like, no, women were staying because they fucking didn't have a choice. There was a long instance of time where women did not, and specifically white women got the right to vote before black women or any other woman of color, right? So it's just kind of like over here, and then the concept of, oh, women had to fight for the right to work. Women have always worked throughout American history. It was specifically white women, who, like housewives, and then black women still had to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, black women, other women of color still had to work. So it's just like this concept of a country or a culture being like inferior to ours, when a lot of the massacres that took place were due to religion and due to like this perpetuation that one group of people is better than the other, which all ties back into capitalism, right? It was just like, it's so strange to me. They're pushing back LGBT laws currently. People fucking hate trans people. They talk shit about trans people all the fucking time. It's all you ever fucking hear these days. Trans people get killed in this country, especially trans women of color get killed in this country so often. Women of color, Black women, Latino women in general get killed so often in this fucking country. Like, it's just like, it's so literally, Trump was on fucking a new, what news site was it? He was just on, he just did an interview where he was talking about disbanding the Board of Education, and they're just like, so if they wanted to teach, like, race, critical race theory or whatever, like, oh no, we're just not going to send them any money. Like, yo, what are y'all talking about? Like, I just don't understand this why he would even go on this tirade about the other. And the crazy thing is, if you look into Asmongold's channel, I'm like, okay, so you're fine with LGBT people existing and women existing. You just don't want them in your games, right? Like you just don't want to see them. You don't want to play as women. You look at his channel, dude's always doing that. He's the last couple years just anti-woke this, anti-woke this, complaining about women this, talking about gays that, talking about trans that, talking about Black people that. Of course, that's not all his channel is built on. He does discuss several other things as well, but it's just kind of like baffling to me that this is even the mentality that people would have when it's like people are so anti-minority, anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-Black, anti-women, anti-Latina. Like, it's weird to see people be so high and mighty when it came to this particular topic. It's just very strange to me. And I think that a lot of it just has to do with the fact that people are fucking delusional. Like, they are delusional and they're very ignorant. And the thing of it is, after he said all that crazy shit, he got banned. Hassan, he tried to talk to Hassan. I had some issues with Hassan myself personally. Like, he said some crazy shit before, but it's just like the fact that he even bothered trying to talk to him. I was like, I really commend him for trying to talk to this guy about this, because me personally, I'm at this point where I'm not even arguing people who have those kinds of perspectives, because it's just like you're just. And at the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. It's like, that is just an evil thing to say. And I cannot fathom not having empathy for a group of people that are being slaughtered, especially like a lot of the people that have died have been children. Died and disfigured and dismembered have been children. And the concept of not having any empathy for a child is just so strange to me. And like just people in general, like why would you? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But he did end up apologizing. And he, I watched his video. He seemed very sincere in his video. He got choked up about it. He said that, he said that Palestinians reached out to him and were showing him empathy and kindness. And he just had a moment where he just like got choked up, and he was like, what I said was disgusting. It was hateful. I don't like the person I've become. And the bigger, more important thing is, and I know I've been talking for a long time, but I do want to say this. The concept of anybody, especially Asmongold, saying that somebody is inferior to him is absolutely insane to me. That guy is fucking disgusting. He's a vile person. Not because of just what he said. His entirety of his being disgusts me, okay? Even before he opened his mouth to say that nasty shit, all right? This dude does not shower, admittedly. Okay, does not brush his teeth, does not wash his hair, doesn't wash his ass. All right, he was talking. There's a wall next to his bed that has blood stains, because when his gums are bleeding, he would just wipe his finger and his fucking gums and then wipe it on the wall, because he was too fucking lazy to get his ass out of bed to fucking brush his teeth. All right, he eats like trash. What he eats is fucking disgusting and vile all the time, right? He doesn't drink fucking water. Dude doesn't work out. He is a walking cesspool, okay? On stream, he had a fucking roach crawling on him. His bedroom is fucking filthy.
God.
He is disgusting.
He did. I do
He's
remember
disgusting.
that.
And the fact that he would even fix his mouth to say that anybody, some other culture is vile and is beneath us, beneath him, baffles me completely, because I'm like, you live in filth by choice,
Even his roaches were confused with that statement. They were looking at him like, really?
Like, he lives in filth by choice. He is disgusting by choice. He does not something I heavily dislike as I've gotten older are people who lack discipline, and he lacks discipline in himself as an adult. He is rich and he chooses to live like a fucking roach, basically. He's a roach king, okay? So that shit, I was just like, bro, you are in no position to talk about anybody else. Fix yourself first. Fix your life first before you talk about anyone else. So anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Good luck to him, honestly speaking. Again, I commend the people who decide to show him empathy and caring and reached out to him despite the fact that their family members are being fucking killed as we speak. good for them. That shit is, I wouldn't do that personally. I had some choice words about how I feel about what he said. And honestly speaking, I don't have any empathy for him at all, because I'm like, bro, you're a vile piece of shit. And not just because of what you said, man. So again, it's like, I just think that people spend too much time hating other groups of people and hating other people. And I'm like, you need to spend more time focusing on bettering yourself. Okay. Get your shit together. All right.
But I think that's also like because they've been doing this before even America existed. Like, because obviously, we did the history where us, you got invaded and enslaved by the Vikings. We had the Romans over here kicking our asses. All kinds of people over the thousands of years, and it's a whole clusterfuck. But it's like, it's just humans just constantly do it throughout entire history.
That's
Everyone
very
hates
true.
each other. The
You're
Egyptians
right.
enslaved other African nations. Like, they did it to themselves. The Middle East has always been in turmoil, some way, which way, any which way. There's always been something going on there. It's like, it's always been the case. So I don't know why anyone would claim one superiority or another, because it's like, how many times
Ignorance.
like how many
That's
times
why.
is like, am I gonna sit here and complain that, oh, my people enslaved by the Romans? Like, no. Vikings, we had the Saxons over here. You had so many people. Like, the Irish were being treated badly way back in Henry VIII's time, even before then, way back when. Like, it's just been a thing forever, and it's just a thing that will always continue forever, because it's just been a thing and no one wants it to change, I guess, or no one cares enough. So it's like, okay, it's I don't know. It's just, I don't know why he said it, and it was like, what are you doing, my guy? That's completely vile. Why would you even come out and say that? It's like, there's wars all over the place. Everyone's getting killed over stupid shit. There's wars going on all over the place. There's natural disasters. Like, I don't know. It's a whole thing.
He was using a baking rat in the sun as an alarm clock. I think he just.
Oh yeah, and they
did
did a house tour of Asmongold's property. It was Emaru and the other dude from OTK, which is the same organization Asmongold's in, and they went over to visit his house, and they did like a house tour. Like, they showed you all the rooms, his bedroom, his like garden and stuff, and it was like, wow.
I'd
it
rather
was a
fuck
thing.
him, bro. Like, that's so, and like, he can't maintain any relationships because of that shit either, because he just didn't want to take care of himself. It's just so fucking baffling to me, honestly speaking. But I was actually talking to one of my friends about this. I was like, what if it has to be like a like that kind of behavior is typically taught, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, you're dust age at this point. Like, he's not dust age, he's around my age, right? But yeah, you're old enough to know better, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like really unfortunate. And I think he deserves to be banned for significantly longer. To be quite honest, he ended up having to step down from his company as well, where he made the choice to, whatever, right? And then people were saying that he was doing some backtracking and talking about how he wasn't going to stop talking about the DEI stuff. And I was like, I'll be honest with you guys. When it comes to having like that kind of like mentality and like spreading that kind of vitriol and hate, it takes a very long time to break out of that as well. So we'll see what happens with him. But I just really think that a lot of it is just kind of like, man, like, there are people, like, it's just really hateful, it's just really, really hateful, and people don't realize that they're being hateful, and it's like, do you hear what you just said? Like, what the words that just came out of your mouth? It's, for me, personally, I just don't think that it's right to actively hate and dislike people on the virtue of who they are, you know what I'm saying? I usually dislike people based on the things that they do and the things that they say. Like, don't get me wrong, I've said some crazy shit too, but honestly speaking, I don't have any regret about it either, okay? Because most of the crazy shit I said, I'm like, yeah, I definitely feel this way, because it's about people who are bullies, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, you're a vile piece of shit, and no one should have any empathy for you. Okay, so good luck to him. Dude is fucking nuts. I really think that if you spend and let me get on my soapbox again. If you spend too much time on the fucking internet, that shit is gonna warp your mind. You're gonna not understand how the real world works. Shout out to my coworker. He is a genuinely nice guy underneath all that red pill bullshit he be spewing. All right, genuinely underneath all that nonsense that he spews, he's a nice guy. Because he'll say something to me and I'll push back a little bit, and then he'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, right? And it's like there'll be other moments we'll be sitting and he'll just be like, you know what, I don't understand people who hate gay people. It shit doesn't make any sense to me. Or I don't understand people who hate women. Like, shit doesn't make any sense to me. Like, when he's just like chilling, he's fine. But then the other moments he'll be like, you see this Andrew Tate video? You see this Fresh and Fit video? I'm like, brother, I saw the video, man. I saw it. Yeah. So I just think that a lot of people get caught up on what's going on in the internet, and they stop thinking about what's actually happening in their real life, And I think a lot of it just comes down to a lack of discipline. All right. Like, spending all day, every day on the internet is not healthy. And I'm saying this from personal experience. I felt like a fucking loser spending all my time online, not doing anything with my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a job, but it was just, I wasn't going out. I wasn't working out. I wasn't eating right. I spent all my time playing video games, and that shit was awesome. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed myself, but it's just like, it was just, like I said, it was just lack of discipline. And once you get some discipline in your life, you take a step back and you realize the problem isn't everybody else. The problem is me. And then you got to start working on yourself and making yourself a better person. And then once you're at that point where you're a better person, you start to realize the problem is other people, actually, okay? Because I'm at that point. All right, get your shit together, guys. Get it together, okay? I'm sorry.
The thing is, it's like, it's not going to get any better because kids now are stuck to TikTok. They're stuck to all these Twitch streamers. Like, all the kids now coming up, you see them all the time. Even when I'm walking around, like, they're all glued to their phone. They don't even look where they're walking. I'm driving around the car park, and they just don't, head in phone, no awareness at all of the world around them. And it's like, these are the people coming up now, and it's just going to get worse. So it's like, it's not going to get better. So it's just going to spiral down even more. Unfortunately, Luca.
So bad. I know. It's so bad, But it is what it is,
it's
man.
Just because of parents. Because I see kids, they're like still in the pram and they have an iPad. Why? I understand you want them to do something.
It's because they don't want to do shit with their kids, man. They don't want to read to them. They don't want to watch them. This is a generalization, of course. There's like plenty of parents who do read to their kids and take them out and everything like that. My brother actively works on doing that with my nephew and stuff, right? But it's just like, it's tough, man. It's real bad when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And I think social media is I think it's a great thing when it comes to like socialization and like meeting with people that you normally would never have a chance to speak to, especially when it comes to like certain hobbies as well. But it also deteriorates people's like sense of understanding, their mental health, especially. People tend to, people will be on Twitter talking mad shit, and then it's like, can you even answer a phone call without crying? Can you talk to people in person without fucking crying? Can you call and make appointments for the doctors without getting your fucking parents involved? No? Get your shit together, Get off the fucking internet, okay?
Yeah.
But that's just
people.
Me.
Getting off the internet is some of the best thing you could possibly do sometimes.
I agree. I definitely agree.
I agree. Because I think about it when I was growing up. See, now this is just the fact I'm old, but it's like, I was just thinking, I'm like, they're not going to be able to experience the shit I experienced. Like, there was like a big house that we always thought was haunted. So, you run up to the gates, you slip through the like hole in the gates, and you go up to the garden, and then you hear the door creak and everyone runs screaming because you think it's a ghost coming out. or you're just, down at the park playing like football and stuff. And now I look at the park down by me, it's empty. Where's all the kids? Oh, they're probably inside playing video games or stuck to their phone. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, also,
Wow.
I mean, the big issue is COVID as well. COVID really fucked up a
Oh
lot
yeah,
for kids, you know what I'm
COVID.
saying? So, and yeah, so yeah, like I definitely understand that as well. But yeah, it's really sad to see, dude. But I'm hoping, like I said before, good luck. I don't have any kids, so for me, I'm just like, man, good luck to y'all who do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, good luck, man. This world is fucked. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, it's only going to get even worse. Like, people are like, oh, but it could get better. And it's like, no. It's going to get worse because the kids coming up now, the ones you see that are oblivious, they have their own conversations stuck in the phone. They're the ones who are going to be working the jobs and then raising the next children. And then their children are going to turn out the way they did. And it's just going to spiral. And it's like, so, I mean, it's just a never-ending cycle. And eventually, robots are taking over jobs now, so people could have more time to sit at home and surf the internet and watch their social media.
That's true.
There we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. Again, like, good luck to him. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on what Asmongold's ban in general, or
what ban? 4 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. You're right.
There's really no ban. I mean, listen, it's like when someone makes so much, it's like if you wanted to make a statement, you would have banned his account in general altogether. Them doing these little soft bans that they be doing, all it does is just kind of prove the fact that, yeah, they just want to make it seem like they're actually doing something, but for the most part, they're just banning people these short amount of time to say, okay, well, you did something wrong, but we got to make people happy that we banned you. So, but you'll be back because you make us a lot of money.
Let me tell you, there are 3 people on YouTube that I would fucking celebrate if they got banned.
If they got banned, yeah, exactly.
I pray for their downfall because the things that have come out of their fucking mouths are so goddamn fucking vile. Like, I'm not talking like little disagreements, guys. I'm talking about saying shit like, I can't even repeat that shit, man. But like 3 people in particular, I'm like, I would throw something on the grill. And I don't even know how to grill, y'all. Like, shit like that, bro. 3 people in particular. Is it ever gonna happen? Maybe eventually. But it used to be like 5. It's at 3 right now. So, I'm just they don't deserve to have their channels, They don't deserve to have the success that they have just because of the shit they say is so fucking horrific that it's just not okay, Matter of fact, I'll say one of the okay, I'll get there you go. There's one. Get his ass up out of here. Get his ass out of here. Someone who actually just recently, I think they just banned him off. I think he got banned off Kick. Jack Doherty. Yeah, he needs to get his ass beat. Okay? He needs to get his ass beaten to the ground. For sure. 100%. So who else? Yeah, Jack Doherty. Yeah. He does need to get his ass out of here, y'all.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it, y'all. I haven't got too much else. Is there anything else you guys like to discuss before I get back to Metaphor?
Oh, I can't wait to get back to Metaphor.
35?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, bud?
You got 34 hours, you said? 35?
37.
37.
Let me see how many hours I got in Metaphor, because I want to get back to it as well. But yeah, Metaphor is so addicting. Such a great game.
Sweet, yeah. Okay, but I do have a channel member topic from Miko, so shout out to them saying, everyone has bosses that they hate, but what about boss fights you enjoyed? What boss challenged you to get good and you didn't feel frustrated by the experience afterwards? Genichiro Ashina from Sekiro. he was actually the boss that made me like that really had the game click for me. That really had me saying, okay, I need to fucking figure out how to play this game properly because I had been playing it incorrectly up until that point where I wasn't doing parries properly. I was trying to dodge out the way, which is not how you play Sekiro, right? So Genichiro really challenged me to get good, and I felt so good fighting him. And that's actually my favorite boss in Sekiro. So Genichiro 100%. And then also Lothric and Lorien from Dark Souls 3. Fucking favorite boss fight, probably in the Soul series, to be honest. Like that is my favorite boss fight. And I worked hard to figure those guys out, and I got to a point where I was so good at fighting them that I was able to like I used to just co-op with people all the time to help them fight that boss, man. I was like, that boss is fucking amazing. But yeah, definitely in recent years, Genichiro for me. But I'll repeat the question for the guys. What boss challenged you to get good and you did not feel frustrated by the experience afterwards?
Let me think.
Nothing? No?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, because there's a couple of good choices. I'd have to say recently, I'd have to say Melania in Elden Ring.
I think that's great. I think that's very fair.
Because it's like, oh yeah, here's the wake up call, but it's like, yeah. But talk about boss fight, that is just such a. I love everything. The music turns into a flower and then blooms. It's like, oh, the scarlet blooms again, and I'm like, oh man, let's go. Yeah. Anyone else?
Forte, when's the last time you fought a challenging boss and enjoyed it?
Challenging boss?
And enjoyed it.
Oh, and enjoyed it. Ugh. It's been a while. When we played Remnant.
Yeah.
The boss.
Oh my
Remnant.
God, we kept fucking falling off the platform. Oh my fucking God, dude.
That was literally the last time because that was
man.
ridiculous. Like I was getting like epilepsy and everything, seizures. I had to think about that. I said, yeah, that was definitely the last time that I actually enjoyed my time. But also I was with you guys too, so that kind of made it better too.
It did, yeah. It was good because of that shit.
But yeah, we figured that boss out though. It took a while.
Eventually, after a couple hours.
A couple hours of us like sitting there, like, okay, we're gonna come back to this tomorrow.
All right. Crow says Morgoth. All right. Silent Saiyan says Dark Eater Madeir and Sands. Dorian says Lady Maria. Let me tell you something, a Silent Saiyan. Fucking Madeir. I was New Game plus 2 or 3 fighting Madeir with melee. I was on crack, dude. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking when I did that shit, dude. I beat Madeir. I did. But it took a really long time. And I did not feel good afterwards, okay? I was like, thank God this shit is over. But I did it. So I was definitely fucking tripping, dude. And when I found out later you could have used like pestilence or some shit, whatever that mist was called, to kill Madeir quickly, I was like, man, I was working harder, man, not smarter. So yeah. Oh, the fucking Reaper. Oh my God, dude. I chose in the first Mass Effect, I didn't choose the Paragon route. I tried to fucking fight when I was fighting fucking oh my God, what's his name? Main bad guy in Mass Effect 1.
Sauron?
Yeah, Sauron. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm saying his name.
Yeah, it is Sauron.
Yeah, Saren. Fighting I thought I was not going to beat that game. I'll be fucking honest with you guys. I really did not think I was going to beat Mass Effect 1 because of that boss fight with Saren. But where he turned into a fucking he had like his little Digimon transformation. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't think I was gonna beat him. I did, but that shit was so fucking hard, man. But yeah.
Also, Hades from the game Hades.
Mm.
Hades, the god of the underworld. Yeah, he's the final boss. Yeah, it's you have to. There's so many phases and attack patterns. It was absolutely crazy.
Sometimes you just
Yeah.
gotta lock in, dude.
Oh, that's what I did. Like I picked up all the Zeus's powers and I got all the way to the end, and I'm like, right, it's go time, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get bodied a whole bunch of times. I mean, there's just plenty of great boss fights and challenging boss fights over the years.
No, 100%. Like, there's
Like
definitely been some.
Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Legate Lanius. I believe that's his name. But oh man, great boss fight.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to think of like other. I mean, a lot of my boss fights do come from like the Souls franchise. I was actually thinking about the end of the Witch Queen DLC. I feel like maybe I would have enjoyed that shit more if we weren't running on like 12 hours of
Yeah.
like going through it and like it wasn't in the middle of the fucking night. You know what I'm saying? Like I think because I do think that is a great boss fight. There's some bullshit, okay, but for the most part, I did think that was a great boss fight as well.
What about Persona 3 Reload? Nyx at the end.
I actually didn't think Nyx was too difficult or interesting, to be honest. Like I
Even
know
when they
the
landed on the Death Arcana, and then it's like, oh no, and then the main character has to. Spoilers, by the way. The main character has to sacrifice himself.
no,
Yeah.
I think I like the final boss for Persona 5 more actually. The base Persona 5. I don't know if it changed for
Royal.
for Royal or whatever, but yeah, I really like the final boss for Persona 5. The final section actually. I mean, yeah, I think that boss was like the boss was great. I don't get me wrong, I fucking love Persona 3 Reload, dude. That shit is fire. But like, yeah, I didn't struggle with that boss fight all that much for that one because I feel at that point I was so fucking I was overpowered at that point, you know. So
Yeah. I mean, classic Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, the original. Yeah. Now that's a boss fight.
Let's see here, what other bosses? Yeah, man. There's just like gaming is just fantastic when it comes to that stuff. What a great question from Miko, because I can definitely think of more bosses that piss me off really badly versus bosses where I was like, yeah, this shit is amazing, you know? Because I feel like when it comes to doing a boss fight, right, there's a lot of push and pull with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that have to go into it to really, really kind of leave that positive impact. You get what I mean?
Yeah, like memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like what other ones? Eridin, Witcher 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually say final boss of Hearts of Stone as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great. It was great. Yeah. So but let's see here. All right, Slow-Mo, real quick before we get out of here. The question was, were there any boss fights that made you want to get good and you did not feel bad after you beat the boss? It was actually like a fun challenge for you.
Maybe had to get good. I mean, we're talking about like a lot of the Souls games, bosses did that for me. Outside of those, oh man, excuse me. Crap, I really can't think of anything right now outside of just like Souls bosses, like Promise Consort were done.
I did not feel good after beating that fucking boss. I was like, thank God that's fucking over. All right, thank God that shit is over.
I did not care that I had to put on the ugliest armor and play in a completely different play style in order to beat him. I was like, yes, I did it, and die, ho, is how I felt. But it felt good, but not knowing it was done. But what's called Millennia as well. Outside of those games, let me think of something that. Oh, you know what? Some of those raid bosses from, like, I remember like the raid bosses in Borderlands 2, fighting them solo. They weren't designed to be beat solo, but I would like take them on solo at like, like Ultimate Vault Hunter, mode, not the normal mode. And when I beat the first one I ever beat, I think was Terramorphous, which is like, it's probably the easiest out of the 4 or 5 of them that are in that game. But the feeling of beating him solo was just like I was like yelling in my house because it was so hard for me at that time in the build that I had set up. But then after that, it was just, I started just thinking of different ways to take on all the other ones and look at the weaknesses and come up with a build that like there's this other boss that was in the game. He wouldn't attack you. You go into the arena, he'll just stand there. He wouldn't attack you until you attacked him. And I used Zero, the assassin, and the way I had him set up was like he was melee focused, but I completely changed him to a sniper focused build where if you you activate your ultimate, you get to see the people's weak points. I just pointed the sniper rifle dead at his head. The way I had the build set up, one shot killed him. And it was just like, I know that's not how the game was designed, but like Borderlands is such a game that like, if you understand the game well enough, you understand the abilities and the gear and the weapons well enough, you can come up with combinations that could allow you to do things you weren't supposed to do. And so, yeah, that was definitely fun.
Yeah, Nautical brought up some of the Remnant bosses. Remember the one where we kept rolling off?
Yes. Oh my God. I almost rage quit off of that. Thank you for reminding me, because I remember like Luca, do you remember I had the boss down, like you had fell off and it was just me, and like I had the boss almost dead to rights, and I like dodge rolled straight into
I do remember
hole.
that. I do remember
And
that.
I literally almost threw my controller. I was just like, I cannot believe that just happened. And we were just like standing there at the respawn at the the crystal for a second, because it was like, I can't believe this. That and remember in Remnant 1, the boss where that splits into 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time we saw it happen, we like, one, he was already hard enough as it is solo, and then like halfway with his health down to like half health, he splits into 2 with another version of himself that's full health on the other side of this like narrow bridge where you could also fall off. I was just like,
it took us some time to beat that shit, man.
Yeah, we had to kind of respec our builds. Like we had to get different weapons and level them up. Like you start using that corrosive laser kind of gun because it was weak to that. Like, man, yeah, that was right. Shout out to Remnant. Remnant's a good game.
Yeah, which we're probably never gonna finish at this point, but whatever.
Hey, I'm down to do the last DLC.
Yeah, let me beat Metaphor first.
You know, when you talk about the hardest, not the hardest thing, but the thing that frustrated, I was super happy. It's the only thing always comes to the top of my mind. Modern Warfare 2, the high, I think it was kind of the high club mission where you had to like, it was like a sub mission after you beat the game, and you had like a minute to get from the bottom of the plane to the top of the plane, and you had to like fight your way, and like it was like really, really scripted, but it was so hard. It took me like 4 hours to kind of figure out that and then once I finally did, it was called Mile High Club. That's what it was called. And when I beat that, I literally was jumping all over the house. I literally was up to like 5 o'clock in the morning trying to finish this mission, just due to the fact that it was an achievement, and it was like one of the games I was trying to get the full 100 on. It was so exhilarating to beat that. I couldn't believe I actually loved it that much, but that was like one of my most memorable ones I've ever had.
Hey,
now that we're really thinking about it, I Persona 5, not Royal, but regular Persona 5. There is a part where you get betrayed by someone, and I kind of figured this person was going to betray me, but I wasn't ready for them to basically ambush me immediately after I beat the boss of the palace. And so I beat the boss of the palace. I got no healing. I got no MP. There was no saving and resting or anything. And this character decides to ambush me, fight me with like how many phases was it, Luca? 2 or 3 phases?
I don't remember, man.
I was just like, you gotta be kidding. I was so frustrated because it's like it would have been a difficult boss fight if I was rested. I wasn't. I just got done in another long boss fight, and then you just throw this at me immediately afterwards. And I'm like, when I beat the first phase, I was like, thank God, let me just get out of here. Then he went to a second phase. I was like, come on, bro. Like, this can't be what's going on. I hated that part. I hated that part so much.
One of the greatest bosses in history, Luca and Forte will know this, the wire rifle from Destiny 2.
I'll be honest with you, man. I don't remember.
You know the Nightfall? The Hobgoblins and the Shanks?
Oh, Lord, if I listen, I'll be honest with you, man.
One-shot headshot.
I know.
You literally just run around the corner and you just get sniped like from across the map.
Okay. No, I do remember. I'm sorry. I tried to fucking block out those goddamn Nightfalls after I started doing those Grand Masters, dude. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I'm not gonna lie. That shit triggered me so fucking badly. Oh,
people made so many memes of that. It's like, Atheon, no thanks. But wire rifle, I am scared of that.
Yeah.
It's because you just never see it coming. You run around the corner, you're like, we got this, guys. We got this. 2 people a day.
You don't got it, man. You don't fucking got it.
Yeah, the wire rifle is the greatest boss in gaming history. Gotta be up there. That gun is just insane.
Okay, but yeah, let's go ahead and fucking skedaddle so I can hop back on the game. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Had a great time with everybody. No but gnomes. But yeah, I gotta say this, guys. Halloween is my favorite time. This is my favorite month of the year. Halloween's my favorite time of the year. So I'm so very much looking forward to Halloween. Post your costumes. I'm excited to see that too. And yeah, you guys want to let them know where you can find everybody. Nautical, thanks so much for joining us. I don't know if you're still.
Always, I appreciate you, as always.
Appreciate you too as well, Mr. Frankenstein. All right, Slow.
Yeah, great show as usual. I guess I will be doing this tonight. I might be going live on the DPS channel to play Alien Isolation.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, not looking forward to it.
Let's go.
I mean,
let's go.
We'll
you streaming tonight?
Happens. Maybe.
If you stream tonight, jump in Discord. I'll jump in there with you.
Yeah. We'll see.
Go. Let's go. See. I'm super happy for this.
Oh man, I'm not.
Let's go.
Y'all harass me enough, so I'll do it. So I bought the game, found it dirt cheap, and surprisingly, it's still very expensive. I wouldn't say expensive, but its cost is still pretty high considering it's a decade old. It's like 10-year-old game, and it's like $30-$40 at all the official like marketplaces and launchers. So I got it from CD Keys for like $15, $10, something like that. So I'll stream it. So check that out. I guess I'll put the channel. I'm so like not into. Like, I'll put the channel up in the chat so anyone that wants to come check it out. And
the chat loves you, Slow Mo.
Yeah, whatever. enjoy.
Let's go.
Singer?
Yeah, great show, great panel. Pleasure having 40 on the show. Always welcome.
Thanks, Singer.
Hey, man, we miss you.
I missed you too.
But yeah, you can find me playing Metaphor and other things on Steam. Just living my best life.
That's a great life too.
And I'm me. And I gotta say, guys, I'm feeling really proud of myself. I started budgeting back in July. Y'all, I'm actually doing a good job. So I'm really proud of myself right now. I'm looking at the total spent for the last couple months, and it's steadily been going down. I'm like, yes, you know what that's fucking called? Discipline. How long is it gonna last? I really don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with us. And shout out to all my channel members. Shout out to all the support. Love you guys. And I will see you later. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.